Hey, what's going on guys? My name is Silent Core. I hope you all had a fantastic Christmas and New Year. And with it being 2017, we can finally say that Red Dead Redemption 2 is coming out this year, which is particularly awesome to say. So today I'm going to be talking about what kind of online content or DLC content we can expect to see in Red Dead Redemption 2. And from the little paragraph that came with the announcement, we know Red Dead Online is going to be a major focus for this release. And I'm also going to be showing you why I believe GT Online is really going to change how Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be compared with Red Dead Redemption 1 DLC. If you guys are new around here, this is my Red Dead news series where I keep you guys updated on all of the news, rumours, discussions around Red Dead Redemption 2. So be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss out on any updates. So Rockstar have been very tight-lipped so far with all of the information. All we really have so far is that 60-second cinematic trailer and a few promotional screenshots, which are actually now starting to appear at retail stores, which is pretty exciting. And I don't know about you guys, but I've been absolutely dying for more information on Red Dead Redemption 2. I want to know who the main character is going to be. I want to know a lot more information about the story, the setting. Is it going to be a prequel or not? So many questions I'd like to get answered. Now, I was kind of hoping Rockstar would drop something over the holidays. You know, they have previously done this in 2012. They did a GTA 5 Christmas Eve screenshot special. We've got lots of screenshots of GTA 5 showing a lot of the characters. And then in 2011, we actually had a Happy New Year post from Rockstar Games showing a screenshot of Max Payne. But unfortunately, it looks like Red Dead Redemption 2 drew this short straw. We didn't really get any information at all since the announcement. So before I go in and speculate on what the online content and DLCs will be for Red Dead Redemption 2, I want to first of all take you guys through the release schedule for the past few Rockstar games. So let's take GTA 4 for example. That was released in April 2008, and just 1 year later they had two single player expansion packs. We had The Lost and the Damned in the next year, which was February 2009, and then we also had the Ballad of Gay Tony expansion pack delivered in the same year. That was October 2009 when that was first released. And then moving on to the first Red Dead Redemption game, that was released in May 2010, and not even a year later, in the same year, we had Undead Nightmare released in October 2010. I think that's just 5 months later after release. Now, if you guys have ever played Undead Nightmare, it was actually later released as a standalone game, so you didn't even need the original Red Dead Redemption to play this game. You could buy it as a standalone. I'll probably have some gameplay in the background of this game. The Undead Nightmare DLC has to be one of my favourite DLCs I've actually ever purchased for a game. It was, it was a whole new experience, pretty much a whole new single player campaign, and then just a whole awesome new free roam mode where everyone's zombies. It was a whole zombie apocalypse, a totally kind of different setting from the main vibe and setting of Red Dead Redemption. It was a really cool DLC. And I'm actually the kind of person that never buys DLCs. I think I've only ever bought 2 DLCs, including this one, in my whole life. Moving on to GTA 5, this is Rockstar's most recent game that was released in September 2013. And then in 2014, Rockstar actually announced a single player DLC for it to be released. Now I'm going to show you guys this segment of an official Rockstar Games Newswire post, and it says, and later this year, so later in 2014, look out for more additions to both Grand Theft Auto Online and Grand Theft Auto 5, including more holiday themed updates and some very exciting story mode DLC, and much more. So that was Rockstar Games officially announcing a single player DLC for 2014, and obviously we're several years later and there's still no sign of that single player DLC. In fact, over 3 years since the release of GTA 5, and we've seen no single player DLC compared to all these other games that they've released where we had the single player DLC delivered in less than a year. Now, it's quite clear that the DLC was definitely in the works and had some significant development time behind it. Jan also made this post recently on GTA forums. Jan is a very credible leaker. He's leaked a lot of things in the past that have been correct. He also has a reliable unknown source that works at Rockstar, and that's where he gets a lot of this information. And he stated that the online DLC was scrapped after being about 60 to 70% complete. Now, this is actually also consistent with the leaks that we have seen from Franklin's voice actor. He actually said, I believe by mistake in an interview in 2014, that he's working on the DLC, downloadable content for Grand Theft Auto 5, and that's like the first thing on my list right now to finish that up. And then again in June 2015 and January 2016, Franklin's voice actor also posted a few suspicious pictures on Instagram showing himself at the Rockstar Games office. We're not sure on the exact details of what he was doing there at Rockstar, but you can see from the caption where it says, shh, it looks like he's working on a project, and, you know, hiring voice actors and motion capture work can be a very expensive part of production. So if Rockstar got that far in the production process, it is consistent with what Jan is saying. Now you might be wondering, why would Rockstar spend all of that time and money developing a single player DLC only to scrap it before it's released? Well, it's quite simple actually, GTA Online. GTA Online has proved to be a very efficient moneymaker for Rockstar, you know, creating online content such as new vehicles, game modes, customization items that can be purchased. These can not only be produced quicker than a whole single player expansion, but it's also much cheaper to develop with less development time, there's less voice actors needed, there's less motion capture needed with the exception of Heist, which was probably the most expensive online bit of content. And I think GTA Online kind of took everybody by surprise with its success. I don't think really Rockstar expected it to be as successful as it was. You know, a lot of their development teams were moved to create more online content in efforts to sell more shark cards to generate revenue that way, rather than selling a DLC which would only be a one-time purchase. And I think GTA Online kind of took everybody by surprise with how successful it was. You know, I think Rockstar themselves didn't even expect it to be as successful as it was. And, you know, they demonstrated that by moving their development teams to mostly create online content for GTA Online over this single player DLC that was supposed to be coming out. And if you think about it, it was actually quite a smart decision. You know, if you're creating a single player DLC or an expansion, that's a one-time purchase. Whereas if you're creating online content, you're going to be selling these shark cards over and over and over to the same players who are going to be wanting to buy the same online stuff. And as you'll probably have noticed from the last few DLCs to go into GTA Online, they're getting more and more expensive. You know, even some of the t-shirts, you know, it used to start off for just a few dollars, very affordable stuff. And the latest few packs have been very expensive. You know, some even really lower end vehicles that you wouldn't even want are costing hundreds of thousands of dollars, up into the millions. So everything is getting very, very expensive, and just in turn to push shark card sales. So I think with GT Online and everything that we've seen in that game and the proven success of that formula, you know, giving everybody free content but having microtransactions for money, I think that's going to be a formula they're going to continue to use in Red Dead Redemption 2. And that's actually quite different from how they ran the original multiplayer of Red Dead Redemption. So with that being said, it's probably unlikely that we will get an expansion similar to Undead Nightmare like we saw with the original Red Dead Redemption game. Which is actually a real shame. You know, Undead Nightmare was one of my favourite ever DLCs, and it was literally like a whole new game to be played again. I don't think it actually had a multiplayer aspect with it, but just being able to play through Undead Nightmare was just a whole new experience. You know, having the whole land in some zombie apocalypse, it was just a very awesome game to play. So I thought it would be also worth talking about some of the potential content that we can see in Red Dead Redemption 2. So obviously they're not going to be able to be quite as extravagant as they have with GT Online. We're not going to see jets, we're not going to see you know, crazy flying jet vehicles or rhino tanks going around blasting. We're not going to see chrome Karumas driving around. So Rockstar are going to have to be a bit more sensitive to the time and setting of Red Dead Redemption 2. Obviously the first game was set in towards the end of the Wild West, and if rumours are to be believed, the next game will be about 10 to 20 years before the first game, and even if it's not, even if it is after, it will still be in the Wild West times, so we'll still be seeing very old-fashioned weapons, probably no motor vehicles, if any. I think there could be a possibility we might see some motor vehicles. I think we saw a few of those towards the end of the Red Dead Redemption game. But for the most part, I suspect that our vehicles are going to be our horses. That's going to be our means of transportation for getting around the world. So I've already made several videos breaking down everything we know so far about Red Dead Redemption 2. You know, I showed you guys all of the confirmed weapons from the trailer, all of the confirmed animals from the trailer. I'll put a link to that video if you missed it, but I won't go into that in too much detail today. But I did want to talk about what sort of content we can expect to see in Red Dead Online. I think it's a good possibility that we'll be seeing some sort of heists, possibly sort of train heists or bank heists. There's a lot of banks and little towns scattered around the map. I think it's also likely we'll see customization for our mounts and our horses and even our character. So I could expect that the clothes and you know, horses will be quite expensive in the game. I think the Undead Nightmare DLC in particular had some absolutely crazy horses that we could get. I remember riding a unicorn and some blazing on fire horses, so possibly horses like this could be some of the more higher end horses that we'll be able to ride in Red Dead Online. And of course, Red Dead Online is likely to have its own microtransaction system, so similar to the way shark cards work, you buy a shark card and get an injection of in-game money. I think we'll have something similar in Red Dead Online. However, I don't think it'll be called shark cards. Possibly they'll have a name more fitting to maybe the time. Maybe it'll be something to do with a gold bar or some sort of gold nugget maybe. I don't know, let me know in the comments if you guys have any idea of what you think the microtransactions will be called in Red Dead Online. Now, I'm not going to say it's necessarily a bad thing. I think that the fact that GT Online content has all been free so far is very awesome. You know, players that maybe don't have enough money to buy an expansion or buy shark cards, they can still play for free with a bit more grinding to get that money. And the microtransactions just allow the more wealthier players, or the whales as they're called in the gaming industry, they're the ones that go and buy all the shark cards and keep these games companies being paid and allowing the content to be free for everyone else that doesn't want to pay for it. However, I do think it needs to be balanced. I really hope that they don't go overboard with the prices of everything in Red Dead Online, making it more essential to buy money. But yeah, that's everything I wanted to mention for this video. Let me know in the comments if you have any feedback or opinions on anything I mentioned in this video, or even if you want to let me know you're super excited for Red Dead Redemption 2. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please take a second to leave a like and also subscribe if you're new. It really helps out my channel. Have yourselves an awesome day, and I'll catch you in the next one.